Well, good morning. Good morning, and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. I trust that you are well today. Um, yeah, things are falling into place. If you're a Christian, we can kind of see things are falling into place. October 7th was a particularly dark day for Israel and the Jewish people. It was the bloodiest day in the country's history and resulted in the most Jews being killed in a single day since the end of the Holocaust. Hamas also brutalized civilians as they raped, tortured, and killed women, and then paraded their naked corpses around to be spat on. And it wasn't just Israeli women being brutalized. Um, it was covered that one woman treated in such an abominable fashion was identified as Shani Luke, a German national. Uh, this this dark day came not too long before October 8th, International Lesbian Day, the latter of which the UN Women's Account chose to prioritize in not one, but two posts on X that day. One such post in particular has gotten considerable attention, considering that it not only prioritized International Lesbian Day over calling out the brutal treatment of women at the hands of Hamas, but also added a pro transgender agenda. Now, supposedly, now somebody correct me if I'm wrong. AI, correct me if I'm wrong. The UN exists as a peacekeeping body to facilitate negotiation, to facilitate all sorts of talk and the like, and to oh, not spur on violence, right? To condemn violence, right? Even my cat says so, right? But right now, UN women posting, remember, trans lesbians are lesbians too. Okay, that means that dudes are lesbians too. Here, I'll read the post to you. It says, remember, trans lesbians are lesbians too. Let's uplift and honor every expression of love and identity. Happy International Lesbian Day at Free Equal. But again, wasn't just how the UN Women's Account decided to heap special attention on dudes, uh, who in reality are, I mean, these are dudes. Women are enduring unspeakable treatment leading up to and even after their deaths. So, how did the UN Women's Account respond? As of Monday night, there's been one post from Saturday night, hours after the news broke of Hamas's attack on Israel. The post came from Sima Bonhoeffer, the executive director of UN Women. Like other problematic posts, especially from liberal Democrats in Congress and the mainstream media, Bonhoeff's post looked to call out both sides, in this case using the term occupied Palestinian territory. Now, it is a long and complicated conversation about that particular thing. There are people who are of the mind that there's no such place as Palestine. I know some people's head just exploded. There's no such place. The narrative that is being pushed that Palestine existed and then Israel came and took it over and they're actually occupying Palestine. That is not true. It's just not. That is not the case. It isn't. In 1947, 1948, the Israeli War of Independence following the end of World War II and the Holocaust, the United Nations passed a resolution in 1947 to partition what they called Palestine into two separate Jewish and Arab states, with Jerusalem under international administration. This plan was accepted by the Jewish leaders but rejected by Arab leaders. My cat is making so much noise. Leading to the 1947-1948 Arab-Israeli War. The war resulted in the establishment of the State of Israel. This whole two-state solution that people talk about could have existed. But the Arabs said, "No, we don't want that." So what happened? It was a war. And what happened? The establishment of the State of Israel. In 1967, there was a Six-Day War. Israel fought a war against neighboring Arab countries, Egypt, Jordan, and Syria, known as the Six-Day War, gained control of the West Bank, Gaza Strip, Golan Heights, and the Sinai Peninsula during this conflict. Grown-ups, y'all come. Grown-ups, y'all come in. You have a war. You attack a country, and you lose land. Yeah, that's what happens. What happens? The emergence of Hamas in 1987. Hamas, if you want to know who that is, Hamas is an Islamist Palestinian organization. Emerged in the late 1980s during the first Intifada. That's the Palestine uprising against Israeli rule, and was founded in 1987. Became a significant player in the Palestinian politics, advocating for resistance against Israel. In 1993, in the Oslo Accords, were signed between Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization. Some of you remember the PLO, leading to the limited Palestine self-rule in parts of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. However, the Oslo Accords process faced numerous challenges and breakdowns. So in 2007, Hamas took control over the Gaza Strip. Hamas won the Palestinian legislative elections and subsequently took control of the Gaza Strip again in 2007, leading to a division of Palestinian territories between the Fatah-dominated West Bank and the Hamas-controlled Gaza. Periodic conflicts and ceasefires since 2007. There have been several rounds of conflicts and ceasefires between Israel and Hamas, with violence often erupting over issues such as rocket attacks from Gaza. They're just tossing rockets into Israeli neighborhoods. Just tossing rockets. Israeli military operations and disputes over border settlements and the status of Jerusalem. Recently, the conflict between Hamas and Israel has continued to, by my knowledge, cutoff date in September 2021 is important to consult the okay. That's sorry, I was reading something that my friend Paul Swanson, our dude, has on paulswanson.com called Hamas and Israel. You might want to read that for yourself. So yes, the history is complicated. It's complicated. Now, I want to ask my conservative friends a very pointed, very serious question. But it's going to take a little bit to get us there. So we're going to take a little break, and I'm going to come back with that question right after this message.
What's going on, Tampa? Jeff Dow from JD's Pressure Washing here again, and we wanted to share something really cool with you that we're going to be doing that you can be a part of. Tampa is home to 21,000 veterans. We all love our vets, and being one myself, we wanted to find a way that we could give back. So here's what we're going to do. For every 10 jobs that we do that are $300 or more, we're going to do one veteran home for free. Now, when I say home, we're talking house wash, driveway, sidewalks, and perimeter fence if they have one. So I need your help with exposure on this so that we can get the jobs that we need as well as the veteran homes to clean, which is going to be a total surprise for them. We're going to show up, knock on the door, and let them know right then and there in the moment what it is that we're going to be doing for them. It is going to be pretty cool. And here's a bonus offer for all of you who help us with this. We're also going to offer 15% off all cleaning that's over $300 just to say thanks. So if you could do me a huge favor, like, comment, and share this video so that we can get the word out and start cleaning homes of veterans right here in Tampa.
All right. Conservative have a question. And this isn't meant as anything but a question, because it's really a question of principle. I understand the reason for supporting Israel. I understand in a very deep way. But let's ask this question principally and politically. How do we decide which foreign wars that have been going on for centuries that we engage in? How do we decide which foreign wars that have been going on for centuries we should engage in? I understand that, Israel is our only ally in that region. I understand that. I understand that there is a biblical, spiritual reason that a lot of us use for supporting Israel. I understand that too. But from a politically conservative viewpoint, how do we decide? Is it a morality thing? What is it? And I know this question is going to get a lot of answers. And you guys behave yourself in the comments. Please, please do. But how do we decide? I know how I decide personally. I just told you. But how do we decide as a group? How do we decide as, politically, that this is a foreign war that's been going on for years that we are going to involve ourselves in? And we should involve ourselves in. What makes a difference? What makes a difference for you? All right. Now we know how the ladies in the squad have referred to this attack on Israel. Their comments are pretty much, what we thought they'd be. This is very sad. We're sad about the deaths on both sides during this Israeli occupation and this Israeli apartheid, all that pablum. But our girl Marsha Blackburn is trying to do something about the $6 billion the Biden administration has unfrozen to Iran. Now, I don't know. I think you got to be crazy to think that all this is some sort of weird happenstance. Iran, one of the biggest supporters of worldwide terrorism, gets a $6 billion windfall that they weren't expecting. And then all hell breaks loose, right? Marsha Blackburn has posted about this crisis in the Middle East several times over on her Twitter account over the weekend. Um, and she says this: if funds had not been released to Iran, President Biden should immediately void the agreement and freeze the six. I mean, they have not been released, but he should freeze the $6 billion ransom payment. There you go. But they know it's there. It's like, okay, and people argue, well, it hasn't been released yet. It hasn't gone to them yet. It's not really going to Iran. It's to Iran, and they know it's there, right? So the letter that Town Hall obtained a copy of emphasizes the United States support of Israel, as well as makes one of the death toll. Americans have been confirmed to be among those taken captive and killed. The letter also notes the letter is clear in calling out Iran, though, and stressing the need to stop the payments. Iran is the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism. And the Wall Street Journal reported that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps worked with Hamas to plan the ongoing attacks on Israel. So you have to wonder. Do you wonder? Do you wonder if, and I've said this for a long time, if these people are just stupid? Because I don't think they are. Or is this some sort of coordinated attack? Or is this going to happen no matter what? No matter what we do? No matter what? Hmm. Pray for the peace of Israel. We got to get out of here, make room for somebody else. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye bye now.